those aren't the real Jews. They're actually Germans and Polish people that were put there under the Balfour Declaration.
I could see that, but then people have been lying about their past and using
Right.
color or
Right.
trying to say other color for
Right.
centuries, decades.
I'm glad you said that, because when you go into the curses in the Bible, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it talks about the Israelites. It says, look, if you disobey me, all these curses are going to come upon you. And when you read those curses, they only fit a description of those people. And it doesn't even mention their skin color. It tells us that the so-called Negroes in all the tribes are going to be brought to another land by slave ships. Now, the first slave ships came out of Spain, and they were full of black Jewish slaves. And then the west coast of Africa. And then they took the Native Americans and they sent them over to Europe. And they took the Southern, the Latinos, and they started carting them around all over the place. You know? So that only happened to that particular nation ever in history. You see? So all those questions, they have answers, and they're answered without even skin color, which is the beautiful thing.
I don't know why that's even going on.
Well, you know, again, for the truth. Because you have to establish a rock and a foundation, right? That's what the Lord said. You got to establish a foundation and build on it. Because if you don't build on a strong foundation, then what happens? The house will crumble. Your wisdom and knowledge will fall apart. You see?
Yeah,
So,
I'm sorry. Can I ask you guys, are you guys Irish or anything? Irish in blood?
I am. Yeah, I got a little Irish, a little German, and then the other 50% is Spanish and Mexican.
Well, like your father's side.
Mostly Mexican.
Oh, that's your father?
Yep.
Oh, you guys are Mexican? And you guys are Israelites?
You're Israelites.
Like more like my mother than my father.
yeah, you're
You guys are
Israelites.
Israelites.
You're, the tribe of Issachar, you can't see it because the sign's messed up.
Why that?
Because Issachar, their national, their symbol is the donkey, and it says in the scriptures when you read Genesis 40, right, el burro, right, because Mexico is between two burdens, North and South America, right, and so-called Mexicans will travel between both countries to work, and it was also said that the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, they would be watchers of the stars. So then you get the Aztec and the Mayan calendars. You see? So those are spiritual traits. And again, skin color is never mentioned in there. But by those things, we know who they are. You see? And it said Issachar is a... Yeah, let's read it.
This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens.
North and South America.
He saw that the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant.
Right. That's why you get a lot of migrant farm workers. My grandfather, you know, he works the hops out in Eastern Washington. They migrated up here, you see, and then he's got family even still down in Mexico, and he can go ranches down there too.
Yep. And bow his shoulder to bear, and become a servant unto tribute.
A servant unto payment. Tribute is payment. So all they want to do is work for a little bit of money, and everyone knows if you want to get a job done, who do you call? So-called Mexican. You go to Home Depot, right? Yeah. That's a true statement.
Americano, man.
Right. You see, and that mentioned nothing about that mentioned nothing about color, but it explained a lot. No one else fits that description. You see, no one else does. So who could it be? And that's where the spirit and faith comes into play. Because what is faith? When you read Hebrews 11:1, it says, faith is the substance of things not seen, the evidence of things hoped for.
Right.
Because if you can see it, then why would you have faith?
Yeah.
Like if you asked your dad, hey dad, you know, years ago for Christmas I want this Power Ranger, right? And then you get it for him, you wrap it up, you hide it in the closet. You leave the house for an hour, and then you go in with a razor blade, you cut it open, you see you got it, tape it back up. Why would you hope that you get it now when you know that you have it? You see? So hope and faith is things that are unseen. You see, and with all this stuff coming to pass, they want to deplete you of faith and hope and make you, oh, we got to get a bug out shelter, we got to do this and that. When really the whole time, your shield, your bug out shelter, your bug out bag, your food was right here, knowing that you're an Israelite. And more important, accepting it, because not everyone's going to accept it. That's the thing, because that's a whole other topic, but his name isn't Jesus, it's YAHAWASHI. Because the letter J, E, V, and U, it doesn't exist in the Hebrew language. So when you go back to our original tongue, it's YAHAWASHI. And his father's name is Yahawah. And the natives are real close a lot of times. They sing their songs, hey, Yah, hey, Yah. They're real close. But it's Yahawah. And the Son is YAHAWASHI, meaning he will deliver, or he is salvation. Jesus is Greek. He wasn't a Greek. Everyone knows he was a so-called Jew. See? So it always comes back to faith and belief. You know, our knowledge is good, but it's only good if it's backed by the truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's good that you know those things, because that, you'll find the Illuminati in the scriptures. We read it earlier, talking about the gates of hell. You read Matthew, I think it's like 16 and 18 we read. It talks about Peter. Peter was the first pope, and Peter was a so-called black man, and Peter had a family. But now the pope is a so-called white man who allows sodomy on little kids, and in the Catholic community, as a pastor, you can't have a family. They say you got to be celibate. So they took what was originally prescribed, and now it's antichrist. It's against it.
Well,
You see?
it's like that in real life. It's impractical. They'll work it.
Yep.
They'll use it if it's impractical. That don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Everything is reversed. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And see, and that's why we're here, to help dispel lies. See, we're not, even though, you know, we're out here, there's no big swelling crowd, which is how it's supposed to be, basically. Because you're going to have a negative side and a positive energy. You're always going to have ups and downs, you know, left and right, hot and cold. It's a balance. You know, there's always the Most High, the Heavenly Father, works in a balance. You know. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Hey, but now you men know.
Thanks again, John.
Yep.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, the tribe of Issachar, man.
Issachar, we're from Issachar tribe.
Issachar,
You
yep.
guys Israelites.
Israelites, yep. Yep, from the tribe of Issachar, that's right.
Yeah.
You know.
Same name as Washington.
Huh?
No, Issachar goes back to a derogatory term that they're using against the natives. Basically, yeah. That's something else, yeah. You know? Hey, you know, even if it's just two, that's what we were talking about. You know, and everything, that's funny, because everything that we, that shows you the spirit is dealing with brothers that are in the spirit, man. Because everything we were talking about, all these agendas and this and that, and then how faith has to be your foundation, and then boom, the Most High made it manifest. He brought someone that looked like an Edomite, because didn't we say something about that earlier?
Yeah.
He looked like an Edomite.
Yep.
And he knew everything that we were talking about, but then he didn't have to question anything about faith, but he did. He said, what does faith even matter or mean? Why does skin color? He said, told me it's because of faith. And then we proved it. You see?
That's right, man. Going back. Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right. Every nation is waxing fat. Like going back again to the Chinese president out here making that contract with Boeing for the 747s, and Boeing's the same company that makes Air Force One, the plane for the president. Okay? So everyone's getting rich off of America. You got Starbucks, Amazon, Google, Apple, Adobe, all these companies. And this state alone, Washington, has got a lot of those big companies, man.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that he be not partakers of her sins, that he receive not her plagues.
Right, and that's not saying physically come out. Okay, because the plagues are always going to, the curses are always going to be on an Israelite until YAHAWASHI returns.
Dude, Salaki, that's talking about we getting beamed up.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's physical, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it said come out of our people. Talking about the elders, broke that down, saying that when the chariots come, it's going to beam us up, and the plagues that's coming is the missiles, man. That great calamity that's coming, man.
Yeah, because back in the day, you had guys saying that meant physically leaving before those things happen. Like, oh, we got to move out of America. That's not what it's talking about. It's exactly what the brother said. Okay?
Yeah.
Getting beamed up. All right?
Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities.
Right. So don't think that because America hasn't been punished, that's what it says in Ecclesiastes. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So look, don't think the Most High forgot. He remembers. Okay, and you're gonna know that he remembered in that day when you see his indignation, which means righteous fury. Okay, it's gonna be exacted on this place.
Yep. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cups which she had filled to her double.
Right. So slavery, the killing, right? The genocides, everything he did to us, we're gonna do ×2. Okay? Because the Most High, when you got to remember, man, the Most High, he loves judgment. Who you call God, he loves judgment. You see, and a spiritual man, he'll judge all things.
Yep.
You know, so hey, that's why brothers got to go out, because you got to try people's spirits by the Spirit, man. See if they're a Jake, see if they're an Israelite, see if they have that faith, see if they can accept the name, see if they can believe it, man.
God, got some. Psalms 137. It ain't all about coming out here. The white man's the devil. You know, you gotta edify, man.
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta edify. You gotta know how to talk to people, man.
You gotta teach.
Certain guys, man, oh, you a devil, man. Nah, you know.
Right.
It ain't about that.
Yeah, right. Hey, right off the bat.
Right.
Because when I saw him come up, I was thinking, I was like, man, this guy's probably like Scottish. Or
Yeah, Irish. Yeah, that's why.
And I was looking at his dad. I was like, his dad might be a Gadite.
This is the second time.
And then we found out what? They're Issachar.
Yep.
You know, and look, his son, probably should have got him on camera, but it doesn't matter. His son had a red beard, pale, red freckles.
Yeah, we got witnesses. The angels witnessed
Yep.
it. So.
And his father was a little light skinned, he had all white hair, you know. But he still had his brown pigment, and his son didn't, man.
Yep.